The shipyard of Kareen 4 floated like a silver ring above a blue-white planet. It was one of the largest stations in the Galactic Union. Docking bays the size of cities opened and closed as starships came in for repair. Inside the brightest bay sat a single object that drew every eye. A tall combat armor shaped like a person but standing 5 meters high. Its plates were cracked, wires hung loose, and faint blue smoke curled from its shoulder vents. This was the Aegis Mark 7, the most advanced armor the Union had ever built. For 3 days, alien engineers had tried to repair it. They had connected it to diagnostic machines, scanned its circuits, and read every line of code. But nothing worked. Every time they tried to restart it, the armor shut down again as if protecting itself. Captain Severa, a tall reptilian officer with dark green scales, paced the deck of the bay. Her tail flicked in frustration. Around her, a crew of insectoid, avian, and crystalline species whispered quietly. The Union was at war, and this armor had survived an attack that had destroyed a fleet. They needed it working again before the next battle. A message flashed on Severa's wrist screen. Human specialist arrived, she hissed softly. A human? The Union rarely called humans for high-level technical work. They were clever, yes, but also unpredictable. Still, no one else had been able to repair the armor. The airlock opened and Jordan Cade stepped into the bay. He was not tall by alien standards, but he moved with calm confidence. His jumpsuit was worn, his toolkit heavy with strange tools. His brown hair was messy, his eyes tired but sharp. Severa studied him. "You are the mechanic?" she asked in the trade language. "Yes," Jordan said. His voice was even, polite but not weak. "I fix things other people can't." The alien engineers shifted uncomfortably. They had spent their lives mastering technology. The idea that a human could do what they could not was hard to accept. Jordan walked around the armor slowly. He looked at the damaged plates, the loose cables, and the faint glow under the metal skin. He did not touch it yet. He listened. A low hum came from inside the armor, almost like a heartbeat. "It's alive," he said softly. Severa tilted her head. "The AI core is still active, but its signal is weak. We cannot reach it." Jordan crouched near the armor's leg. His fingers brushed a thin line of organic tissue between the plates. He frowned. "You didn't tell me it had biocircuitry." "We did not know," Severa admitted. "This armor was built in the secret labs of the Council. Its schematics are restricted." Jordan set down his toolkit. "Then we start fresh. No assumptions." He opened the panel on his wrist computer and began scanning. Unlike the alien engineers who relied on exact data, Jordan used a mix of standard sensors and improvised attachments of his own design. His scanner beeped and flickered. A picture formed. The armor's inner systems were tangled like nerves rather than wires. Severa watched him work. "Why are you moving so slowly?" she asked. "Machines talk," Jordan said without looking up. "You just have to listen long enough to hear their language." For hours, Jordan mapped the damaged circuits. The alien engineers grew restless. They preferred clean, fast solutions. But Jordan's patience and soft voice seemed to calm even the armor. Once, as he reached for a wire, the armor's fingers twitched. Gasps filled the bay. Jordan only nodded as if expecting it. When the first shift ended, Severa approached him. "Do you see a path to repair?" "Maybe," Jordan said. He tapped a screen showing strange patterns. "Someone put something in here that shouldn't be here. A kind of virus, but alive. It's blocking repairs. Sabotage?" Severa's voice turned sharp. Jordan nodded. "Looks like it. And it's not a simple code. It's buried in the organic circuits. That's why your people missed it." The alien engineers whispered again, now more uneasy than before. Sabotage meant a traitor, or a hidden enemy. Either way, it was worse than a simple breakdown. Severa's tail flicked again. "Can you remove it?" "I think so," Jordan said. "But I'll need direct access to the AI core. And no one touches anything until I'm done." She hesitated, then gave a slow nod. "You will have what you need." Jordan climbed onto a scaffold to reach the armor's chest. He connected his tools, gently detaching small plates. Beneath them, a glow pulsed like a living heart. He placed his palm against it. The glow pulsed back in rhythm with his touch. A voice, faint and metallic, echoed from the armor. "Who?" "Repairs, me?" Jordan smiled a little. "Name's Jordan. I'm here to help." The aliens stared in shock. None of their attempts had produced speech from the AI. But the armor had spoken to the human mechanic after only one day. "I can hear you," Jordan said quietly. But you're weak. Let me work. The armor's glow flickered as if it understood. Through the long night shift, Jordan cut away corrupted circuits and replaced them with makeshift bridges. His human intuition helped him guess the patterns the AI preferred. He murmured words of encouragement to the machine as he worked, as if repairing a wounded friend rather than a weapon. By the next morning, small lights across the armor's frame began to blink on. The alien engineers whispered in awe. No one had been able to get that far. Severa approached again. Progress? Jordan wiped sweat from his forehead. Partial functions restored. But he hesitated. While I was inside, I found something else. What? A hidden signal emitter. Every time we bring a system online, it sends a pulse. Someone out there now knows we're trying to repair this armor. Severa's eyes widened. You are saying we are being tracked? Exactly, Jordan said. If I'm right, they're already on their way. The bay grew silent. The alien engineers looked at each other nervously. Severa straightened her back. Then we must prepare. Jordan packed his tools. Finish your diagnostics. I'll keep working, but we need defenses. This armor isn't just broken, it's a beacon. Severa gave a sharp nod. Understood. Jordan placed one more hand on the armor. Hang on, he murmured to it. We're not done yet. The armor's AI whispered back, faint but clear. Hurry! The human mechanic looked over his shoulder at Severa. She was watching him closely now, her eyes no longer full of doubt but of something else. Respect, maybe, or the beginning of trust. The war outside the station was growing, but inside this bay, something new was taking shape, an unlikely alliance between a human and the most advanced weapon in the galaxy. The shipyard's repair bay was quieter than usual. Since Jordan Cade's arrival, Captain Severa had ordered half her engineers to stand back. Only a small crew remained to monitor power levels and keep the station running. The rest were busy reinforcing the station's shields and setting up perimeter defenses. They could not know how soon an enemy might appear. Jordan sat cross-legged on the scaffolding beside the Aegis Mark VII armor. His toolkit was open. Wires, scanners, and small devices of his own design lay neatly arranged. He had been awake most of the night, but his focus had not faded. The armor stood motionless before him, like a giant statue with faint lights flickering under its plates. Captain Severa stood at a distance with her arms behind her back. Her reptilian eyes followed every move Jordan made. She had begun to believe the human was truly different, but her duty as captain demanded caution. The armor held secrets far beyond normal military hardware. If Jordan uncovered too much, he might be in danger from the Union itself. Jordan looked up at the armor's glowing chest. Okay, he said quietly. Let's see what you're hiding. He had already removed the corrupted virus from one section of the organic circuits. Now he planned to go deeper into the AI core itself. No alien engineer had dared to do this. The AI was considered sacred technology, too advanced and too unpredictable to tamper with directly. The armor's voice whispered softly through his wrist receiver. Jordan, system stabilizing. That's good, Jordan replied, speaking softly so the aliens wouldn't hear. But we're not done. There's something inside you no one wants to admit. The armor's faint hum vibrated under his hands. Proceed. Jordan connected a neural bridge from his scanner to the armor's AI port. His device flickered with lines of living code glowing in green and blue. He frowned. This isn't just a combat program, he muttered. It's something else. Severa approached the scaffold. Report, she said, her tail curling in question. Jordan glanced down at her. Your people built this thing using more than just machines. There's tissue in here, maybe even cloned brain material. It's like repairing a living person. Several alien engineers gasped. One dropped a tool. Such an idea was forbidden under Union law. Impossible, Severa said, but her voice lacked certainty. Jordan gestured to the screen. Look for yourself. Severa leaned in, her eyes narrowing at the data streams. Even she could see the organic patterns moving like neural waves. Why would they build it this way? She asked softly. To make it learn faster, Jordan said. To give it intuition, he paused. Maybe even to make it feel. He reached deeper into the code. As he did, his scanner beeped with warning signals. There was a block of encrypted data hidden inside, locked behind a living firewall. Jordan tapped a command. The firewall pulsed like a heartbeat. Here's our saboteur, he said. Severa hissed. Can you remove it? Jordan shook his head slowly. Not yet. This isn't just code. It's like a parasite woven into the armor's nervous system. If I pull it out the wrong way, I'll kill the AI. He sat back for a moment thinking. Most alien engineers would retreat and run simulations for months. Jordan's mind worked differently. He thought of old Who. The Bay of Kareen 4 had never felt so tense. Outside, the vast black of space shimmered faintly with the approaching enemy drones. They moved silently like shadows hunting their prey. The alarms on the station rang in urgent, piercing tones. Red lights flickered across the walls, casting strange reflections on the polished metal floors. Every crew member stood at their stations, nerves stretched tight. Inside the Aegis Mark 7, Jordan Cade's senses buzzed. The neural interface had fully connected him to the armor. He could feel the pulsing power in its chest, the subtle vibrations of its servos, and even the faint whispers of its AI. It was like being inside a living giant. He flexed his fingers, testing the weak hydraulic systems. Slowly the armor lifted an arm. The weight was immense, but Jordan's determination made it precise. Limited mobility restored, the armor whispered in his mind. Good, Jordan said. Now weapon systems next. Focus on the defense protocols first. He worked quickly, rerouting energy and bypassing damaged circuits. Alien engineers had never thought to combine organic circuits with mechanical ones, but Jordan's human intuition allowed him to improvise. Tiny bursts of energy sparked along the armor's forearms, then stabilized. He flexed again. This time, a small energy cannon slid from the forearm panel. Outside, the first drones reached the station's perimeter. They moved faster than any ship in the fleet, their black hulls absorbing the light of nearby stars. Each drone had razor-like wings and glowing red sensors. They circled the station in a precise pattern, scanning for weak points. Captain Severa barked commands. All turrets fire. Shield generators full power. The base shuddered as alien artillery fired. Beams of blue and green light shot into space, hitting several drones. Yet others slipped through with ease, moving almost like predators in a silent hunt. Jordan looked out through the armor's semi-transparent visor. Too many of them, he muttered. The turrets can't cover every angle. Then we fight smarter, the armor's AI said. Use the environment, Jordan nodded. He scanned the bay. Huge repair cranes hung from the ceiling. Tools floated in zero-gravity bays and maintenance drones hovered in storage corridors. Everything could be used as a weapon if handled correctly. He pressed a button, releasing a magnetic clamp from the armor's shoulder. A repair drone zipped past and the clamp latched onto it. With precise movement, he swung the drone into a small enemy craft. The drone collided with a hiss and explosion, sending the enemy tumbling off course. Improvise, Jordan shouted to Severa. Use everything we have. She barked orders and the crew scrambled. Maintenance robots became projectiles. Conveyor rails swung like battering rams and decoy drones mimicked the station's energy signatures. The enemy drones faltered, their precise movement disrupted. Impressive, the armor whispered. Jordan grinned. You ain't seen nothing yet. He began synchronizing the armor's movement with the bay's machinery. Using the scaffolding rails, he swung the armor across the floor, smashing a cluster of drones into a wall. Sparks flew and the hum of the AI pulsed in excitement. Every movement inside the suit felt like a chess move, combining strength, speed, and cunning. But even as they fought, Jordan noticed something troubling. The drones were adapting. Each time they encountered a tactic, they adjusted within seconds. Their movements became sharper, more coordinated. Someone or something was controlling them remotely. Commander? Severa called from a nearby console. We can't hold them for long. They're too fast! Jordan wiped sweat from his forehead. I know. But we can buy time if we keep them distracted. I need another plan. He studied the armor's internal displays. The suit's AI was running diagnostic loops, analyzing enemy movements in real time. Then Jordan had an idea. He tapped into the armor's energy distribution system, diverting power from mobility to weaponry. The armor's chest glowed brighter, and small panels opened across its forearms and shoulders. Energy cannons and mini-missiles were online. Okay, he said. Let's make some noise. The armor fired. Bolts of plasma and concentrated energy streaked across the bay, striking enemy drones. Explosions erupted, shaking the walls. Sparks flew from damaged panels and pieces of debris floated in the zero-gravity environment. Jordan felt every impact as if it were a pulse through his own body, but he remained steady. Enemy fleet adapting, the AI warned. I see it, Jordan replied. Time to get creative. He scanned the bay again. Overhead, the massive cranes could swing and crush multiple drones at once. He maneuvered the armor's arms to grab the hooks of 2 cranes, pulling them into alignment. With one heavy swing, a crane collided with a group of drones, scattering them like leaves in the wind. Severa's tail curled in amazement. "That's human thinking," she whispered. "Exactly," Jordan said with a grin. "Sometimes brute strength isn't enough. You have to trick your opponent." The drones retreated slightly, regrouping, but Jordan had already anticipated this. Using the armor's sensors, he projected a holographic image of the station into open space. It shimmered like a real ship. Several drones charged toward the decoy, leaving the actual station less targeted. "Keep them busy," he shouted. "We're not done yet." Severa relayed his orders. The crew worked in perfect coordination, following his lead. The drones smashed into energy barriers, triggered traps, and collided with decoys. Every move Jordan made inside the armor multiplied the effectiveness of the station's defenses. Despite the chaos, Jordan remained calm. Every swing, every shot, every movement was precise. The AI's voice was a constant guide in his mind. Weapons calibrated, shields holding, core stable. He paused for a moment, glancing at the bay's main access door. A drone had slipped inside. Its sensors glowed a dangerous red. Without thinking, Jordan swung the armor's arm and caught it mid-flight. He crushed it between his massive hand and the floor, sparks flying in every direction. Severa's voice crackled in his headset. "You're incredible." Jordan didn't reply. He had no time. More drones were entering the station. But something was different. He noticed subtle changes in their flight patterns, slightly erratic movements, hesitation. The enemy AI was learning, but slower than the human mind. "His intuition gave him the advantage, Jordan," the armor whispered. "You are integrated. My systems respond instantly to you." He smiled inside the suit. "Good. Let's see how fast we can move together." For the next hour, Jordan guided the armor like a conductor with an orchestra. He used every tool, every trick, every human intuition he had learned over years of repairing machines. Drones were crushed, thrown, or blasted into oblivion. Every explosion was controlled chaos, but Jordan stayed focused. Finally, the last wave of drones approached. Jordan knew this might be the final test. He lifted the armor's arms high, connecting them to the station's energy grid. A surge of power shot through the suit, amplifying every weapon system. The armor glowed like a beacon of light. With one final command, Jordan fired. Beams of energy struck the drones in perfect formation. One by one, they disintegrated, leaving behind nothing but small, drifting pieces of black metal. The bay went silent. Only the hum of the armor remained. Jordan exhaled, sweat dripping from his forehead. He had done it. Against impossible odds, using only human creativity, intuition, and courage, he had held the enemy at bay. Severa approached, her green scales shimmering in the red warning lights. She looked at Jordan inside the armor, her eyes wide with awe. I underestimated you, human," she said softly. Jordan smiled faintly, flexing the armor's fingers. "That's all right. Most people do it first," the armor's AI whispered to him. "We are ready for the next step." Jordan nodded. He knew the battle outside was over for now, but the enemy who had sent the drones was still out there, somewhere in deep space. And now, thanks to the bond between human and armor, they were ready. Severa looked at him with a new respect, the same feeling she had seen in her crew. "Perhaps humans are not just clever, perhaps we need them more than we realized." Jordan only smiled inside the armor, knowing the real challenge was yet to come. Outside, the stars seemed a little brighter, as if acknowledging the power of human ingenuity. The bay was quiet now, but the silence was heavy. Outside, the last of the enemy drones had been destroyed or sent tumbling into space, but the danger was far from over. Jordan Cade remained inside the Aegis Mark VII armor, his body and mind fully linked to the suit. Every pulse, every hum, every spark of energy flowed directly through him. He could feel the armor's strength, but he could also feel its weakness, the scars left by the previous battle, the hidden sabotage, the pain of the AI trapped inside. "Jordan," the armor whispered, "I am damaged. Systems recovering. Slowly, I know," Jordan said softly. "But we're getting there. You're stronger than you think." The neural link allowed him to experience the armor's memory flashes. He saw its first pilot, A brave soldier who had fought countless battles across distant star systems. He saw the destruction, the attacks, and the countless near-death experiences. It was as if the armor had lived a life of its own, and now it trusted him enough to share its story. Captain Severa watched from the bay floor, her arms crossed. She had never seen anything like this. A human inside a machine, communicating directly with its AI, repairing it from within. The crew had begun to whisper among themselves, admiration and astonishment in their voices. Jordan's hands moved carefully of. The calm after the last drone attack was deceptive. The Aegis Mark 7 stood in the center of the shipyard, fully repaired, fully alive, but the threat was far from over. Jordan Cade remained inside, connected to the suit through the neural link. Every pulse, every hum, every system now responded perfectly to his commands. Yet even as he tested the armor's enhanced weapons, his mind raced with questions. The enemy fleet that had sent the drones was not random. They had purpose, coordination, and intelligence. Jordan could sense it through the armor's systems. Someone had studied the Union's defenses carefully and had chosen this moment to strike. But who and why? He ran a full scan of the armor's internal memory. The AI, now fully stabilized, whispered softly, "Past. Corruption." Jordan's brow furrowed. "Show me." The armor projected its internal logs. Files, encrypted and hidden for decades, began to display. Jordan scrolled through them. Each line revealed a pattern, a plan, and finally, a truth that made him stop. The Union Council had conducted secret experiments on human-derived technology, experiments that used human ingenuity as a model to enhance AI and armor systems. The Mark 7 itself had been influenced by human design principles. Severa approached cautiously, her claws clicking against the floor. "What have you found?" Jordan looked at her, serious. "These attacks, they're not random. Someone inside the Union is trying to cover up these experiments. They don't want anyone to know humans were the inspiration for advanced AI integration." Her tail twitched in surprise. "Internal conspiracy, but that is treason." "Yes," Jordan said, "and it explains why the drones were sent specifically after this armor. They knew it had been repaired. They knew I was inside." The armor pulsed with light. "Enemy, fleet, targeting us deliberately. To erase evidence. And kill human pilot." Jordan nodded. "Exactly. And that's why we need to be careful. We can't just fight blindly. We need strategy." He began accessing the armor's communication systems, trying to trace the signals that had controlled the drones. Using human intuition, he bypassed the usual security protocols, connecting directly to the signal source. Lines of code flickered across his visor. "Yes, human logic. Effective," the AI whispered. Jordan's eyes widened. "It's not just a fleet. They're coordinating from multiple hidden stations. They've infiltrated the Union." Severa's eyes narrowed. "Then we must alert the Council immediately." Jordan shook his head. "We can't. If the Council itself is compromised, the alert will only reveal our position. We have to act first, uncover the truth, and then strike." The alien crew murmured in concern. Acting without orders was dangerous, but they trusted Jordan. He had proven himself in battle, and now he seemed to see paths that no alien mind could predict. "Jordan, what do we do?" the armor asked. "First," he said, "we gather evidence. I need to access every log, every hidden file in this armor. Then we find the fleet controlling the drones. Only then can we stop them." He worked quickly, interfacing with the suit and accessing archives hidden deep within the armor's memory banks. Files appeared showing communications, schematics, and instructions meant to remain secret for decades. The rogue faction inside the Union had been manipulating events, orchestrating attacks, and suppressing evidence of human involvement in advanced technology. Severa's voice was tight with tension. "They will not forgive this if discovered." "I know," Jordan said, "which is why we need to act fast. We need proof and a plan before they strike again." He paused as a new signal appeared. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, an encrypted transmission hidden in deep space coming from a nearby asteroid field. Jordan's eyes lit up. "There, that's one of their hidden stations. If we can reach it, we'll find the evidence we need." Severa's tail flicked sharply. "And how do we approach without being detected?" Jordan smiled faintly. "Human improvisation. Follow my lead." He guided the armor to the shipyard's docking bay. Using the suit's integrated thrusters, he lifted it gently into space. The armor moved like a living starship, weaving through the debris of the station with perfect balance. Outside, the enemy fleet had disappeared, likely retreating temporarily after the last drone attack. The asteroid field awaited, dark, dangerous, and perfect for stealth. "Jordan, danger done unknown. Caution advised," the armor warned. "I know," he said, "but we have no choice. If we don't stop them now, the Union itself will be compromised." The asteroid field was thick with jagged rocks and hidden tunnels. Jordan maneuvered carefully, the armor's sensors scanning for hidden defenses. Suddenly, a faint energy pulse appeared, a small fleet of enemy ships hiding among the rocks. They had been waiting, prepared to ambush anyone foolish enough to enter. "Hold on," Jordan said. "We'll do this my way." He activated the armor's stealth systems, diverting power to shields and cloaking fields. The armor's AI hummed approvingly. "Stealth engaged. Ready?" Jordan guided the armor silently through the asteroid field. Every movement was precise. The enemy ships scanned for life signs and energy spikes, but the human intuition built into the armor allowed them to slip past unnoticed. Finally, they reached a hidden docking bay, carved into a massive asteroid. Jordan scanned the area. The enemy station was heavily guarded, but he could see the data cores glowing inside. This was the evidence they needed. "Okay," Jordan whispered to the armor. "We go in fast, grab the data, and get out. Minimal risk, maximum efficiency." He activated the armor's magnetic grapples and launched onto the asteroid's surface. The gravity was weak, and the suit adjusted perfectly, keeping him stable. Using the neural link, Jordan bypassed external locks and security protocols. Lights flickered across the station as the AI guided him silently through corridors. Inside, they found the central data core. It was massive, humming with energy. Jordan connected his interface directly, and streams of encrypted data began to pour into the armor's memory banks. "Copying. Evidence critical. Human and AI integration experiments." "Confirmed," the AI whispered. Jordan smiled faintly. "Got it. Now let's get out before they notice." Just as he prepared to leave, an alarm blared. The hidden fleet had detected the intrusion. Energy barriers lowered, and enemy soldiers, mechanical guardians, moved to intercept him. "Jordan, combat required," the armor whispered. "Ready as I'll ever be," he said. The Aegis Mark VII moved with fluid precision. Blasts of energy struck guardians. Mini-missiles soared through corridors, and the armor's strength and speed allowed him to evade attacks. The enemy underestimated the human inside. Every move was unpredictable, every attack clever. Sphera monitored from the shipyard. "You've become unstoppable," she muttered. Jordan navigated the asteroid tunnels, dodging traps and blasts. The neural link allowed him to anticipate threats before they appeared. Every second, the bond between human and armor grew stronger. Finally, they emerged back into open space. Jordan activated the suit's thrusters, propelling them away from the asteroid and back toward Careen 4. The data was safe, proof of the conspiracy secured. "Jordan, mission success. Data secure," the AI whispered. He leaned back in the armor. "Good, now the Union will know the truth." "Eventually." Severa's voice crackled in his headset. "You have done more than repair a suit. You have uncovered corruption, saved evidence, and survived enemy forces that could have destroyed us all." Jordan smiled faintly. Sometimes the human touch is all it takes. The stars stretched endlessly around them. Jordan looked out through the armor's visor, the galaxy full of dangers yet unexplored. He knew this was only the beginning. The rogue faction was still out there waiting. But for now, the human mechanic and the living armor had proven that courage, intuition, and determination could overcome even the most complex conspiracies. Severa's voice softened. "Perhaps humans are not just tools. Perhaps they are essential." Jordan nodded inside the armor. "We'll see, Captain. We'll see." The Aegis Mark VII hummed with life, ready for whatever came next. And for the first time, it was not just a machine, it was a partner, bound to a human who understood it completely. Together, they were ready to face the galaxy. The stars outside Careen 4 glimmered quietly, but the calm was deceptive. Jordan Cade, still linked to the Aegis Mark VII armor, stood at the center of the shipyard, fully repaired, fully alive, and ready for the final challenge. The rogue faction inside the Union had been exposed, but their fleet was still in deep space, plotting a decisive strike. The human mechanic and the living armor now faced the ultimate test, not just survival, but victory. Captain Severa stood nearby, her tail flicking with tension. They know we have the evidence, she said. They will come for it and for us. Jordan nodded. Then we stop them before they can reach the station. It's now or never. The armor hummed with energy, each pulse resonating with Jordan's own heartbeat. Jordan, ready. Systems optimal. Weapons online. Good, he said. Let's move. The docking bay doors opened, revealing the blackness of space. Far off, the enemy fleet approached, sleek warships glinting under the distant starlight. They were faster and more numerous than any force Jordan had faced before. But this time he was not alone. He had the Aegis Mark VII, fully bonded with him, every system tuned to his mind, every movement perfectly synchronized. Enemy fleet, multiple formations, high probability of attack, the AI whispered. Then let's divide and conquer, Jordan said. We'll take them one formation at a time. He, Manu,